From freezing time itself to going full Super Saiyan with unstoppable energy, many Gumball fans completely underestimate the true strength of the world's favorite blue cat. And in today's video, we'll be answering a question many have had for over a decade. Just how strong is Gumball really? Even at a mere 1% power, Gumball is already bending reality. In the Season 1 episode, The Secret, Gumball and Darwin are flushed down the toilet and end up literally becoming purified bottled water. The show actually depicts them swimming through the sewer and coming out of the water purification plant as bottled water, then popping out of their bathroom faucet at home. In the episode, Darwin even quips, "We're literally water," and Gumball joyfully drinks from the faucet as bottles, because hey, cartoon logic. Now, a scene straight out of a wild science experiment. So at 1%, Gumball can transform into another substance and reconstitute himself perfectly, defying all physics. Crank Gumball up to around 5% power, and things get utterly insane. In Season 3's The Procrastinators, Gumball and Darwin challenge each other to off-the-wall stunts. At one point, each boy literally swallows himself whole. Poof. One moment they're talking, the next they disappear entirely, they eventually reappear. No harm done. As if that self-vor was just a cartoon nap. The official wiki even bluntly states in the end the two swallow themselves. Later in that same episode, their over-the-top challenge goes further. Darwin and Gumball endure a fire sauce eating contest. Gumball explodes and Darwin melts, yet both are fine afterward, because of course they come right back once the episode resets. Meanwhile, Gumball's strength skyrockets at 5%. In Season 1's The Mustache, Gumball accidentally swaps his cereal for Richard's adult muscle pills, male power 2000. Suddenly, he ages into a 30-year-old jacked up version of himself in seconds. Gumball ends up bench pressing entire bookshelves, and even a simple dodgeball becomes like a tiny mosquito swatter in his hands. He hurls a dodgeball with such terrifying force that it bursts through the school gym wall. The wiki notes that the kids nearly crush their parents with their newfound strength while goofing off. In other words, Gumball at 5% is basically an unstoppable mini-Hulk. So by the end of these stunts, Gumball has gone from preschool weakling to muscle-bound super kid, tossing furniture and people around with ease. At around 10% power, Gumball acquires a universal remote that literally controls reality. In Season 4's The Disaster episode, classmate Rob Robinson buys a special remote from an infomercial, and it can affect anything in the world. Gumball eventually grabs this remote, again in The Rerun, and learns that real life is like a TV. Now he can hit pause in any situation, rewind people's ages, fast forward events, or even change subtitles. The show's wiki lists these functions plainly. The remote's pause function freezes time for a particular person. Rewind can go back in time or reverse a character's age, and subtitles can make new captions appear under someone's speech. In practice, Gumball uses it to skip ahead in life or halt embarrassing moments at will. Imagine literally hitting fast forward on math class or rewind on a mistake. Gumball does exactly that. The result is, he's not just stronger, he's a one-kid TV controller jumping through reality-like channels. Push Gumball to 25% power, and he starts remixing his own DNA like a mad scientist. Season 4's The Apprentice has him literally plucking genes out of his DNA strand to change his form on the spot. One yank, and his ears and voice change, even squealing like a pig on cue. Another pluck sprouts an extra eye on his tail. Suddenly, he morphs into a scaly, green, snake-like goblin creature with a spiky neck and a giant furry tongue. He yanks yet another piece and becomes a bulbous, larva-like creature with a jetpack. The wiki transcript shows Gumball gleefully experimenting with each pulled-out nucleobase causes a new mutation, changing species and shape in real time. It's literally a genetic zoo springing from one little cat. Pulling DNA like Lego pieces is beyond any normal power. It's a 25% level move that rewrites biology itself. As the wiki notes, Gumball even suggests his DNA can give him a new voice or a third eye on his tail during the sequence. In short, 25% Gumball is a walking Pokeball, able to transform into any creature on a whim. At 50% power, Gumball's abilities break speed and time. First, he gets absurdly fast. In the family origin stories, The Origins, we see baby Gumball activate a nitro-charge mode to save Darwin from being flushed. He blurs through the house and school so fast that everyone else practically slows to a crawl behind him. Doors, walls, even rockets can't catch him. He's basically Elmore's own Flash, with a cat's teleportation knack. His own scream becomes a sonic boom that shatters glass. It's as if he cranked the world's air horn to max. But the time magic really comes in. Season 3's the countdown. Gumball panics about being late to class and starts racing the on-screen school timer that's following them. In desperation, he actually crashes into the digital clock as if it were real life, and everything freezes. The wiki makes it clear, Gumball accidentally stops time by crashing into the camera and freezes the whole universe except for himself and Darwin. Suddenly no one else moves or ages, giving our heroes all the time in the world to make it to school. Hey, no more tardy punishment. In effect, at 50%, Gumball can outrun time itself and even break the fourth wall, stopping clocks mid-tick. He's at Flash-level speed, plus a Time Lord's pause button rolled into one. Alright, let's go meme mode at 69% power. Here, even Gumball's words are weapons. In Season 5's The Best, Gumball has a verbal showdown with classmate Carmen. He fires off the ultimate internet burn. Not everyone can afford organic stores. Maybe you should check your privilege, the punchline. A massive, literal shockwave erupts from Gumball, blasting lunches and students flying like confetti. The wiki transcript captures it perfectly. As Gumball says those words, a shockwave emanates from Gumball, sending nearby students and their lunch trays to the floor. His insult is so powerful it physically knocks people around. In other words, Gumball's snappy comeback hits harder than a karate chop. At 69%, his voice is literally explosive. Social commentary turned into a KO attack. And now, the final form, 100% power Gumball. In Season 4's The Pest, Gumball finally unlocks the true legacy of the Dragon Ball Z reference. He meditates with his eyes closed, then lightning strikes his tail and he explodes with golden energy. Instantly, his ears, hair, and tail fur glow brilliant gold and crackling electricity arcs around him. It's literally Goku's Super Saiyan transformation applied to a cartoon cat. The show's wiki even notes this is Gumball's official Super Saiyan moment. Gumball goes Super Saiyan, closely resembling Son Gohan as a Super Saiyan 2. One thunderous slap from Gumball in this state sends the bully Billy spinning across the playground, an anime-level explosion of power. In short, 100% Gumball is an unstoppable lightning cat, a one-kid anime crossover. He's now operating on Goku-like power level, complete with gold aura and immense strength. And as if all that raw power wasn't absurd enough, Gumball has one more trick. He knows he's in a cartoon. In various meta episodes, for example, The Signal and others, Gumball and Darwin literally glitch in and out of frames and address the fact that they're on TV. They'll pause scenes, rewind conversations, or even step off to the side of the story. At one point, they even chat with a character representing the Cartoon Network boss, negotiating their own plot. In other words, Gumball can game the system. He pauses the writer, rewinds reality, and even appears in commercials. At 100%, he isn't just superpowered, he's super meta. He knows the rules of the cartoon universe so well, he rewrites them on the fly. We've watched Gumball go from a dripping water beginner to a universe-warping god in just a few crazy episodes. He's become water droplets, defied death, morphed his DNA, outrun time, blasted shockwaves with words, and gone Super Saiyan with electricity. It's utterly absurd, but that's the fun of Gumball. The next time someone underestimates a cartoon character, show them this. Gumball Watterson might look like a goofy kid, but at 100% power, he's literally stronger than the laws of physics, and he knows it. If you enjoyed this ride through Gumball's power levels, smash that like button, subscribe for more crazy cartoon breakdowns, and tell us in the comments which Gumball episode blew your mind the most. Until next time, stay animated, literally, and we'll see you in the next video.